Hey, we're here with another episode of the Rock Fantasy Files, and I'm here today with Niklas from Danish melodic death metal quintet Livlos.
That's
We're
right.
here to chat about the new album, and then there were none, October 22nd, via Napalm Records. Hello, and welcome to the show, Niklas. And where are you joining us from today?
Thank you. I'm joining you from Aarhus, Denmark, in my apartment.
Okay. And we're here to chat about this new album. So let's fill us in about it. Let's talk about some of the tracks, maybe, where it was, a few things, where it was recorded and all that good stuff.
Let's do it.
So what can you tell us about the record?
Oh, yeah. It's been a long time coming, because we finished writing and recording it in December 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been waiting to release this one for a while now, because we put a tight schedule on the writing and recording part, because we wanted to, shop for labels.
Okay.
And then we had a few contacts and a lot of labels, both Napalm Records and a lot of the other big ones in metal. And then we got set up with a showcase down in Hamburg, Germany.
Okay. Yeah.
For a guy called Torsten Harm from Napalm Events, which is the booking agency of Napalm Records. So they wanted to see us live before signing us. And then we were like, cool, let's do it. And then COVID-19 hit. So
yeah,
that show got postponed and then ultimately canceled. And we were sitting there on our album, just waiting for an answer. And in the end, we just told them, yeah, you got to make a decision now, or we're going to release it ourselves.
Okay.
And they made the right choice, we think.
Yeah, for sure. And how many tracks are on the album?
There's 9 tracks, 8 songs, and then an instrumental intermezzo in the middle.
So for someone that's never have heard Livlos before, and you were going to say, hey, to turn you onto my band, what are like 1 or 2 of the tracks from this album you think that are maybe stand out more, and you would say, listen to this one?
Well, I think, can I mention 3?
You can mention as many as you like.
Yeah.
You're the boss.
So
I'm just
I think the starter and one of the first single, and then there were none, the title track.
Yeah.
And then we have Gallows, which is probably my favorite song on the album. And then the album Closer and second single, the Purest Black. Yeah. Because especially, and then there were none, the Purest Black, because they are at each end of the spectrum of this album. So you'll get a little bit of everything in between from those 2 songs.
And you actually shot the video for Purest Black, which you can find on YouTube if people want to check it out. And and you've released a couple other videos for that. And there were none, I believe, was the other video also, correct?
Yeah, that was the first single and video.
Okay. And what is the current lineup in the band? Who's joining you in this effort?
Well, there's me on vocals, and then there's Frans Posch on guitars and Kenneth Breinbjerg on guitars. And then we have Søren Frambo on bass, and we have Thomas Denneman on drums. And
a bit of the history of the band for those that are unaware. Like, their band is also new for me. I just discovered you when I was offered the interview, so I'm also ordering some in. I ordered some in for the record shop. We're at Rock Fantasy, so we've got you on the shelves as of this week. And let's dig into the history of the band a little bit.
So the band started back in 2014, I believe.
Okay.
With another singer than me called Simon Olsen. He is the lead singer of Bass, if you've heard of that Danish metal band.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was in both bands from the start. And then LIVLØS released their debut EP in 2016, I think. Yeah, 2016. And then the debut album Into Beyond in 2018, which is both with the old singer, Simon.
Okay.
But then, because both bands were rising quickly in Denmark, he couldn't have time or the energy for both bands in the end. So he chose Bass, and then he actually recommended me for the other guys in LIVLØS. And I was in another Danish death metal band called Wayward Dawn back then.
Okay.
And I also tried the balancing act between those two bands, but I ultimately chose LIVLØS. So I joined in LIVLØS officially in October 2018.
Excellent.
Yeah, and then we released the first single with me, which was just a standalone single to present me. It's called Run and Ruin, back in 2019.
Okay.
And then quickly began writing the album. And then the one on which we just released this Friday.
And Livlos, interesting name for a death metal band. Where did that name come up with, may I ask? Is there a meaning behind it?
Yeah, I can tell you what I remember, what the other guys told me anyway.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, so it came up from our drummer, Thomas, which, I don't know, I think there was, when LIVLØS started, there was, we were at the beginning of it, but there was this trend in Denmark with Danish band names.
Okay.
Which started around 2014, 2016, in between.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like a cool reference, also because in metal, I don't think you also always have to like have an English name. There's lots of bands called something weird or another language. Yeah. So I think that the gist of it back then was just that it sounded cool in Danish, and it was special because it had the Danish Ø, which is the O with the line through it.
Yeah.
So yeah, back then it was just because it sounded cool, but over time it has gotten a new meaning for all of us personally.
And what went into what? We'll talk a little bit. We'll retrack back to the videos about how was it? You know, you went out and filmed the latest out one, and what went into the actual filming of the video? Where did you? What kind of a location did you use, and what with directing and all that stuff on it?
For which one?
Either one, I guess we could talk about both if you like.
Okay, let's talk about both then. For And Then There Were None, we chose a pretty big Danish production company. Like they do big time commercials and animated movies sometime too. I know they did some animated movies for Warhammer recently.
Okay. So
a pretty big company. We had a movie crew of about 10 or 15 people. And yeah, then there's two shot locations over 2 days. The first one is out by like on an empty field with a giant tree.
Mm.
And then there's the dark, gloomy place with all the mannequins.
Yeah,
that's in a professional big ass movie studio where we shot for I think 13 hours straight.
Where the girl woke up and like looked up to see the mannequin all around her. Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. So yes, in that video, she's representing Mother Earth coming to kill us, which the band is representing all of humanity in that video.
Very well. And who was the actress's name that played the role in the video?
She's called Linnea Tomasha.
Okay.
So,
and excellent. And would you like to talk about a little bit of filming of the other video?
Yeah. So the next one was the Purest Black, which is a whole another production totally, because instead of having 10 to 15 guys in the production crew, we had just one guy with camera, little light, and then we shot it in 4 hours inside what do you call that? Yes, a planetarium.
Oh,
yeah. So we rented a whole museum for 4 hours, which is pretty expensive.
I can imagine.
Yeah, so that's why we only had 4 hours. So that was a tight schedule that day, but made it work. But there was some problems because it was a very old school planetarium, so it had to be completely dark for the night sky to be lit up.
I see.
And so the guy who shot it, Rasmus G. Sejersen, is called. He had to do a lot of post-production work to make it work. So that was definitely. I'm glad I wasn't doing the editing for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we just last Tuesday released our third single, "Seize the Night." Don't know if you saw that one.
I didn't catch that
No?
this morning. No, I have to check it out.
Yeah, it's a cool video too. It's like what we would call the regular metal video we do, because it's also just one guy with the camera and some lighting, then we shot it in like a little warehouse,
Okay.
not warehouse, but like a little storage room,
Okay.
where we just closed all the windows off with black bags and made it totally dark. And then there's a little fun scene at the end with some CGI green screen. So that's a cool video too.
Excellent. And what are some of your influences? What got you wanting to front a band, or just got you into more of the extreme music in general?
What got me into singing was or growling was when I went to school.
Mm-hmm.
I had some friends that played in a metalcore band.
Okay.
And I was like, I think we were age 18 back then when I started. I just thought it was cool at that age, because to me back then they sounded totally professional, like big time. Their music back then isn't as good as it is now, but to me it was amazing that people I just knew from school could play that kind of music. So I just decided to practice at home in my parents' living room when they weren't home, just screaming my throat out. I learned the technique later, but yeah, that's how I started, just watching YouTube videos and just trying out at home. And then I just started my own band, which was Wayward Dawn. Found some other guys playing music.
So what bands influenced you other than your friends in a local band? Or is there any like vocalists that you look up to, or bands in general?
Yeah, definitely. It has also changed a lot of the time, because when I started out, I was mostly inspired by Corey Taylor or Randy Bly.
Okay.
That was my main influences back then. But now it's more like Dahlia Murder, like Trevor Sternad and Joe Duplantier from Gojira, and also some Mikael Åkerfeldt from Opeth and Bloodbath.
Yes.
So and also Mikael Åkerfeldt's clean singing, which I have some ideas for turning it back into the growling.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's the influences change a lot over time, and I imagine they still will. But right now, those three are probably my main influences.
Any special plans you have to promote the new release?
Yeah, we still have some online. We still have some extra content coming out. We have a track by track series where me and our guitarist Fons goes through every track. So there will be coming a video for every song. Then we have some playthroughs coming out for some of the tracks, and then we of course have 2 exclusive Danish shows where we'll play the entire new album plus the hits from the old stuff in November.
Okay.
And then we'll embark on our Europe tour with 1914 and Convent, also on Napalm Records in April of next year.
Excellent. And are these showcases that you're doing in November, is that in front of a live audience? Are you allowed to have a live concerts there? Because every country is different, and it seems like we're coming out of the pandemic a little bit, but there's still some places where people can't play, and there's some places, you know, you know how it is right now. So.
Yeah, in Denmark, the situation is pretty good. There's no restrictions anymore, so all shows are back to normal for now.
That's great.
They have been since September or August, I think. So that's awesome. But yeah, we really wanted to play more shows here in late 2021, but because of all the shows that got moved to now, there wasn't many slots open.
It looks like you have a sickle behind you or something there.
Yeah, that's a scythe.
Scythe, scythe. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's early in the mornings too for me.
Yeah.
That looks pretty cool. But anyhow, anything else you'd like to add to this little interview as we wrap things up today? A message for
to everybody watching, go listen to the album. If you like it, go buy it on vinyl or CD. It helps us out a lot. And to all our fans or upcoming fans, buy tickets to our shows on the Napalm Over Europe tour with 1914 and Convent. We can't wait to play all over Europe for all of you guys. So yeah, get some tickets too.
Excellent, excellent. And have you ever been, you obviously, the band being rather new, you probably have not toured North America yet. No gigs over here?
Sadly, no. We haven't even played that much in Europe. We've just played in the Netherlands and in Estonia. So this will be our first real tour out of Denmark.
Excellent.
But we, I can see we have a lot of streams coming from the US, so we really want to play over there too.
I'm sure that would be awesome. And well, I wish you all the luck in the world, and you know, doing these shows and getting back out on stage and seeing people drinking beers, whatever else. And stay safe and stay metal. And hey, if you liked what we're doing on the channel, please take a moment to hit the like and hit the subscribe button, and go check them out. Pick up their physical copies. Maybe you could buy. Can you buy any merchandise on your website too? Maybe a shirt or something. Yeah,
we got the vinyl CD of our new album, and then there were none on napalmrecords.com.
Okay.
And they got an exclusive shirt as well.
Okay.
And then we have our own web shop over at merchcity.com, where we have a long sleeve, a standard t-shirt in both black and white, and then we have of course also the vinyl and CD, and all our old merch, hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeves, all kinds of things.
Like I said, support the bands. They all need your support right now. And thanks for joining us and giving your time to the Rock Fantasy Files channel, and stay metal.
Thank you. Stay metal.